Recreational marijuana is now legal in Colorado and Washington State, but illegal in the United States. What gives? Dylan Matthews from the Wonkblog has been looking into that question. And so, Dylan, what gives?
At a federal level, marijuana is still illegal, and federal law trumps state laws in this as in most matters. So if a DEA agent sees someone in Denver lighting up, they can arrest them and haul them off to federal court.
And yet we've seen people lighting up for the cameras, and they don't get hauled off.
Yeah, so the reason for that is the DEA doesn't have that many agents, and they have a lot of things that they need to focus on. Mexico has a raging drug war. There's huge meth epidemics in the Midwest and Appalachia, and so the DEA in practice has to make sort of resourcing decisions.
There's this momentum that's, I think, surprising to a lot of us, where decriminalization seems to be within sight. And so what roadblocks are between here and there?
There's actually a major international impediment, that there's a UN treaty governing the regulation of narcotics that requires that marijuana, cocaine, heroin, among others, be banned in all signatories countries, including the United States. And so that's why what countries have laxer drug laws, like the Netherlands and Portugal, don't actually have full legalization schemes. They have sort of quasi-legal systems in which you can buy drugs, and it's not really a big deal, but it's not like you can't buy it at CVS or something.
Yeah, so what would be the problem there? Why can't we just do what they're doing? Or why wouldn't that be an ideal solution?
It might be an ideal solution. There's some people who support that. Actually, one advantage that Mark Kleiman, who's a criminologist at UCLA who studies marijuana heavily, has brought up is that if it's fully legalized rather than decriminalized, there's going to be a heavy marketing machine. And you could see what's happened with alcohol and tobacco, where abuse has gone up considerably because there's been a coordinated marketing effort by major corporations.
If decriminalization is your goal, having big business behind you could be a strange bedfellow way to make it happen. So are these international treaties a barrier to big business reaping rewards and therefore lobbying Congress to make it happen?
Absolutely, and it's also a barrier to denying it as a revenue stream for illegal businesses. As with any other industry, there are returns to scale. Doing it at a big level is more profitable than small enterprises. And as long as you can't do that out in the open, it's going to leave a room for organized crime syndicates to fill the void.
So you're saying doing it the way that like Holland and Portugal have done it, wouldn't get rid of organized crime as part of the drug trade?
It wouldn't. It would probably reduce it, mostly because it would reduce the price. That by making it easier to buy drugs and by having fewer impediments, the cost would go down, so less money is going to, and so it would be less lucrative. But it would still mean that legitimate businesses couldn't get in on the action.
Unless I'm mistaken, we've just done an entire marijuana segment without one like double entendre.
It's
so
remarkable.
I say kudos to us.
Yeah, it didn't blow up in our faces.
We got so close to the finish line.
So
Dylan, thank you
close.
so much.
Anytime.